Hi students, I have already given you the summary of Act 1 and you know everything what happened in Act 1. In Act 2, the scene continues that King Duncan is at Macbeth's place and he is there to honor him. And you have also learned that Lady Macbeth's intention was to make Macbeth murder King Duncan to become the king of Scotland. And she succeeded in that. She succeeds in that Macbeth is ready to commit the murder of King Duncan to be the king of Scotland. And Act 2 starts with Banquo and Flynn's, his son. They are walking in the darkness and they are complaining that the moon has set by midnight. It is very dark. They meet Macbeth, and while having conversation with Macbeth, Banquo tells him that he had dreamed of the weird sisters, I mean the three witches, and what they predicted. Macbeth tries to give impression to Banquo that he is not interested in the matter, though he is overly interested in the matter. He knows that he is going to commit the murder. He is going to kill the king to become the king of Scotland, but he tries to hide his real intention. This shows the simplicity of Banquo and how clever and how crafty Macbeth is under the impact of Lady Macbeth. As they part company, Macbeth is proceeding towards the chamber of King Duncan. He sees a dagger in the air. It is an imaginary dagger. He has hallucination and he tries to grab it. Dagger is in the air and he tries to grab it, but it is elusive. His eyes see the dagger, but he can't grab it. Then he sees that the dagger has drops of blood hanging from this. And he understands that these are the indications to complete the work, like murdering King Duncan. His mind is overcharged, his mind is excited, so he has hallucination. I want to tell you in the passing that Macbeth was after all not a bad person. He was only ambitious, and it was not his heart's desire to kill King Duncan. But he does it because he is instigated by his wife partly, and partly because he also wants to become the king of Scotland. So his mind is overcharged, excited, and his mind is oppressed. He has a sense of guilt. Finally he kills King Duncan. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth is talking to herself that how she has drugged the grooms of the king. King's two bodyguards are sleeping with him in his chamber, and Lady Macbeth had made them drunk and added drugs to their drink. So they were almost half dead. And Lady Macbeth has done all this that the grooms of King Duncan should never know that their king is being murdered. Macbeth comes, his hands are smeared with blood. Lady Macbeth asks him, what have you done? Have you done or not? Macbeth says, yes, I have done this. She asks her husband to wash his hands. He says, how can I wash my hands? All the seas of the world can't wash my hands because I have killed my king in bed. I have committed a heinous crime. And no sea, all the seas in the world can't wash my hands. Rather, all the seas of the world will become red and my hands will not be washed. She says, don't think much. Remain normal. If people call you, if they meet you, look normal as if you have done nothing. Then Macbeth says that as I have murdered the king while in bed, while sleeping, I will sleep no more. If Glamis has murdered the king in bed while sleeping, Cawdor will never sleep. His sense of guilt is awake. He knows what he has done. Lady Macbeth tries to make him normal, tries to make him look like a normal person, that he has done nothing. The sense of guilt should not be written large on his face. His countenance, his face should not reveal it that he has killed his king. Then he gives further details what happened in the chamber. When he murdered the king, he stabbed him while sleeping. One groom laughed and other cried murder. Then first one says, may God bless us. Then second one says, amen. Then both prayed to Almighty. And Macbeth was standing hiding there. He tells Lady Macbeth that I am such an unfortunate person that I could not utter the word amen because I am a sinner. I have committed a sin. Then Lady Macbeth says, Macbeth, be normal, look normal. Says that don't show what you are undergoing on your face. Look normal, Macbeth. If people meet you, you should give the impression that nothing has happened. You have done nothing wrong. Look normal and wash your hands. But she tells him that one thing more, you have done one thing wrong. Why have you brought this blood smear dagger here? Go back to the chamber and smear all the blood on the body of the two grooms, so that in the morning it can be proven that they have killed the king. Go. Macbeth has a cold feet. He is nervous. He says, I can't do. Then Lady Macbeth herself goes into the room and does it. She comes back and then the scene shifts again. Macduff and Lennox are the two noblemen of Scotland, and Macduff was assigned this task that his job was to wake up the king, and he asks Macbeth, is the king awake? Macbeth says not yet. And then what happens? Macduff discovers that king has been murdered. He makes a lot of hue and cry, Banquo and all others, what has happened? And then they realized how stormy was the night, how uncharacteristic was everything. Everything looked natural, and how stormy the night was. Then realized that this has culminated in the death of the king, and that's why the nature was unnatural. Then everybody knows that king has been murdered. Lady Macbeth, she is a wonderful actor. She acts fainting. She finds fainting. She falls down. Then she is carried away. That she can't bear this news that her king has been killed. And it was she who was responsible. Who is responsible for all this? And this happens. Thereafter there is a conversation between Rose, another nobleman, and an old man. And the conversation indicates that how the time had changed. The old man says, in all his life, he had not seen such a strange night in his life. And what has happened is strangest. Then he gets to know that king would be buried at a particular place, and that the king's two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, Malcolm has fled to England and Donalbain to Ireland to save their lives, because they fear that after their father it is their turn, that they will also be murdered, because conspiracy was on and they fear for their life. And then king would be buried where his ancestors had been buried, and that Macbeth becomes the next king. Before that, a meeting is held where all the noblemen of Scotland gather, and it has been decided that Macbeth will be the next king. And in this way, Macbeth becomes the king of Scotland. And before that, one thing I would like to add here, the two grooms of the king were murdered by Macbeth instantly to prove that they were guilty and they deserve punishment. So in this way, Macbeth has wiped out all the evidences against him, and he becomes the king of Scotland, and suspicion falls on king's two sons and other people, and Macbeth comes out clean very cleverly, and he becomes the king of Scotland. The story will further unfold. I hope you have understood everything that I have told you today. Okay, have a nice day. And one thing more, subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and follow my talk from beginning to the end. Don't have a flash of it, just have a glimpse of it and forget. No, this is not going to help you. I am going to really help you. So, and you will get benefit only when you have followed all my classes thoroughly from beginning till the end. Then you will get benefit. Then make notes and put your questions in the comment section so that I can address your problems. Keep subscribing to my channel. Have a wonderful day.